Good morning. Early start today. I'm about 1.5 miles in already. The reason I'm not talking and walking is because there's a big hill in front of me and I'll be out of breath when I get to the top. But the reason I'm at 1.5 miles in already is because it's been really overgrown since leaving Pentewan Sands Holiday Park. Decent place if you want to do a camp, considering it's only £10. There's a laundry room. It's got everything you need there to just really sort of get squared away and get everything you need to everything cleaned. But today the plan is to get to just beyond Fowey, get the ferry across from Fowey to Polruan, I think it is, and there's a campsite there. There was no Wi-Fi in that campsite at all. Only one of the bars has it and that was closed, so I haven't been able to call them up or anything. But at 6 o'clock start I should get there nice and early. Now got our fourth climb for the day. We're only an hour in. The first one was out of Pentewan Sands down there, then up this one and back down, then up this one and back down. It's actually a really nice walk down through those woods. And now this one. I knew there'd be a few because I could see them as I was yesterday. I was up when I was up at that point. So I knew it'd be a tough start, but at least today I know it's going to flatten out a little bit once I get to the towns. This kind of sums up kind of the south coast of Cornwall. There have been some really beautiful parts, and every day you'll still see beautiful parts, but there's a lot of walking like that on this that you didn't get on the north coast. And the mid-cliff walking where it's the same, instead of bushes it's gorse and stuff like that. And I've noticed this week as I'm editing the videos, I think I've edited 4 now. And I think I've only put 1 to music. And I think last time almost all of them had a bit of music to it to show you the scenery. I'm just not really getting any on this southern stretch. It's really hard to find something to film that isn't just bushes either side or cows in a field the other side. Got a first good view of the day today. I'll just step past this bush here. So the headland there, that's probably the sun is blinding the camera now. I've just got to go 2 miles beyond that today, and it is looking at some relatively flat spots around there. Few hills. Par I think is in the distance there. I can see a chimney blowing, and I know Par has a factory there, so that must be Par. I'm thinking this must be Charlestown because I think there's a small harbour there. I've just come around the corner and seen another big steep valley. My initial reaction was actually whoa 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 whoa. I actually remember seeing this one on a couple of other people's videos. Today has been, oh god, it goes any further. Today has been much more sort of a North Devon vibe to it. We look quite a lot of valleys sort of very quickly one after another. Let's sit and look at the lovely little beach before I attempt this climb. There we go. I wonder if this is the one. It looks very familiar. Someone said there were 200 steps to the top. They always had a guidebook. I'm not going to count them because I've only got 10 fingers. But I'll be blowing by the time I get up there. It wasn't anything close to 200 steps, but it felt like it. Oh, that's a stiff one. That's the biggest one of the day. Past a lady walking a dog down there. She said it's the worst bit. Last time someone said that to me, it actually turned out to be quite an easy afternoon. Fingers crossed. Well, that was a tough one. I had to stop halfway. Oh. The whole section here from Charlestown through to this point through the golf course has been lovely and easy. It's from Charlestown onwards, it's mostly sort of paved and gravelled and hard track, and then you walk through this golf course for about a good half mile maybe, and it's lovely and easy going compared to what it was. I've just got to the Par China Clay Works just behind me now. Just on Par Beach here. I haven't done much filming for the last 2 hours because it's kind of been alleyways and road walking and round Par Industrial Unit where they do the China Clay, and then through Par itself. But it's been lovely quick walking. It's now 11:30 and I've done 10 miles already. So we've only got about 5 left for the rest of the day. As you go through the residential part of Par, it tells you to turn right to get to the beach. So I'm looking for signs now. If you carry on 50 yards up, there's a co-op there. So I picked up some lunch there. So the plan is to head up to Gribbins Point, which I think is about 3 miles. Stop there for lunch. That gives me 2 miles into Fowey. Have an hour or two round to Fowey and then try and get hold of the campsite. But Par Beach is where I was going to do a beach camp if timings had worked out. You absolutely could. There's sand dunes around here you can get lost in, hide yourself away. Loads of flat spots. So this is Par Beach. You come in at the top end up there and walk down. So there's a little bench there right at the end. So the Scots on their Coast Path video, that's where they wild camped. So it looks like someone's had a fire there. I'm guessing that's not so much campers because it's right in the middle of where you pitch your tent. But it is a lovely little secluded spot for a wild camp, and that's where I was going to go. But just so you don't get lost like I did, as you come up, you walk up through the dunes really. But how to get up to the path here, you walk up through the car park and then stay on the right hand side, and there's a pay and display machine with a green utility box. There's a little bridge behind that. Go across the bridge up some steps and that puts you on the path, ready to take us back up there. I've just come through Polruan. That marks 100 miles for this trip in 6 days. We'll call it 6 days because it's 12:30 now on a Wednesday. I started at 3:30, 4 o'clock on the Thursday. Just leaving Gribbins Tower behind me there. Looking at the map, it looks like there's 2 big climbs before I get back into Fowey, before I drop down. I can see the first one, it doesn't look that bad. It looked worse on the map actually. But I was just wondering what the weather's doing. I can see a farmer cutting his hay over there, which is usually a good sign. We've got a couple more dry days ahead of us. I can just catch a glimpse of Fowey. And actually, Polruan, where I'm hoping to stay tonight, that looks quite steep up. Looks quite steep up there as well, but there's a beautiful little bay coming into here. I'll turn you around and show you in a second. Polruan over the back there. Unfortunately, the campsite I'm hoping to use is right at the back at the top of the hill. That looks like a fun walk up there. But there is Fowey. Looks as good as I hoped it would. It's beautiful. Final update for the day. I'm just at the campsite in Polruan. It was £12 for the night. good day's walking today, quite enjoyed it. Very tough at the start, but got much easier from Charlestown onwards. Fowey was lovely, it's a really nice place. I got to have about 2 hours to look around there before getting the ferry over. But the ferry stops running at 5:15, and that was £2.80. But it's a very steep walk up to this campsite, Polruan, really steep. But that's one less hill for me to climb tomorrow. So I'll see you tomorrow that will be Polruan to Loo for the next video.